Hey everyone, it's Deb here, and I was tagged by Kristen, who is, her channel is My Heart on My Sleeve. She is pre-op, due to have her surgery, I believe, in the next month, and she lives local, so she's kind of one of my first YouTube friends that lives in Colorado, so that was kind of fun. It's been fun getting to know her, and hopefully at some point we can get together in person, because that's always nice to do. But she tagged me, and I believe it was Annette, VSG Mommy, that started this tag. So I've just found Annette's channel and haven't had a whole lot of time to check it out yet, but it's on my list to check out. So I'm looking forward to getting to know who she is. It's a list of questions that just kind of gets you to know people a little bit better, and they're good questions. They're hard questions, and I really had to think about them to come up with what fit for me. So let's see, number one, what are you grateful for? I decided I'm grateful for Colorado. That's where I live, and I love this state. I grew up military, so I moved all the time. And almost 20 years ago, we decided to move to Colorado. My husband grew up here. And I had come here for skiing every year and always loved the state and the mountains and everything. And I just love everything about Colorado. I love the climate. I love the seasons. I love that they change, because I think I get bored with one, if I was in a climate that was always the same, it would be boring. So we got snow, we got summer, not a huge long summer. I've never been a fan of extreme heat. So we'll get some hot days, but they're dry heat. It's dry heat. You can breathe. You can be outside. It's a great state to do stuff outside, and I really appreciate it. I can drive to work. Every time I drive to work, I can see the mountains on my way to work, and that's just something I've always been grateful for. It's a great place to live. So, what is missing in your life? What's missing in my life is, I think, a sense of self. That's always what I think I've lacked growing up military and Catholic. I think I end with 3 dominant personalities between my sister and my parents. I didn't think there was a whole lot of room for me to find myself, and I was never one to really fight for it. I would just kind of go with the flow, and I think I just never developed a great sense of self, and it's been something that's always kind of plagued me, and something I'm starting to do now. I really feel like I'm rediscovering myself and finding out who I am. So that's always been missing, and I'm hoping I can change that. What do you need to change about yourself? The thing I think I need, and I've been working on changing, is to listen more and talk less. I think I have a tendency to hide behind babbling. I can always talk to anybody about anything, and I'm not always so good at listening. I don't always hear, especially when other people who are quiet people need to be listened to. So that's something I've really been working on, especially with my children too, growing up, and with my friends, is to listen more than I talk, because I think I have more to offer if I can go down that path. Number 4, what are you most proud of in your life? I believe I am most proud of my children. I have 3 children. My oldest is 20. He is in college at Colorado School of Mines. Very smart, math, science brain. He's talked over my head. He's always talking over my head. He's been smarter than me, I think, since he was like 4. He outsmarted me. But he's super big heart, really wants to give something to the world, and I think he has a brain that can do that. I really think his brain goes places that most people's don't, and that is something that he can give to the world. He's just super smart. He's doing great in school. And then my daughter is 17. She's a junior, and she's very talented in school. She does great in school. She's a good friend. Everybody likes her, and it's not even that she tries. She's just a likable person. Great athlete. Kind of knows who she is, really seems to have a sense of herself, which to me really matters. I think that's true of all of my kids, is they seem to have, developed a sense of who they are, or they're not afraid to go out and try things to figure out who they are. I think my son struggles sometimes with kind of identity issues, but he still knows what he thinks and how he wants to treat people. He doesn't let other people tell him how to be. And then my youngest she'll be 8 in May, and she's just out there and already has a presence that draws people in, and just her laugh is contagious, and she's just fun. So all of my kids are just awesome, and I'm so lucky, and they're so healthy, and I'm so proud of them, because all the things that they represent are all the things that matter to me. And I like to think as a parent that I've set them up to have a good life, and that they won't struggle. At least not with the same things I did. I'm sure there's things, I'm sure I haven't been a perfect parent, and there's things that they're going to fight too. But I'm really proud of them. So let's see, number 5. I'm trying to look at my list that's underneath here. What are your talents? I think my talents are I'm a visual person. I have a degree in graphic design, fine arts and graphic design. And I've dabbled in and done freelance since I graduated. Excuse me. And I've never made it into a career, which, sometimes I regret that. But I think I did that because I needed to focus on my kids. I wanted to be there for my kids. And my focus has always been about them and about other people. I've never been a real career-oriented person. A job was basically to bring in some income. Now for an income, I have some freelance, but I do grooming a couple days a week, and seem to be good at that. I mean, I kind of dumbed into it about 15 years ago when I was showing my dogs, and it seems to be something I'm good at. I get lots of requests, so they keep coming back. So I feel like, okay, I must be doing something right. And you got to get your strokes somewhere, and you don't always get them from family, so you pull it from other places, and it kind of balances out my life. So that's what I feel like my talents are. What was the toughest time in your life? About 4 years ago, my husband and I went through a rough patch where we almost separated. Things happened that totally caught me off guard, threw me for a loop, and I ended up in, I don't know, they diagnosed me as bipolar for a while, which ultimately was not the case. I think I might have some tendencies, but I think it was mostly just that I don't hit the manic side. I hit the depressive side. I go from normal to depressed, and maybe I go up and down in that way, but I don't really hit the manic. I think the anxiety was looking like mania, and that was confusing all of us. And I was put on medications that messed with me, and it was like a whole year that I was kind of in a fog because of all these medications they were trying. And then when I go off of them, it was just a mess. So that was a really hard time in my life, and I think it was the point where my weight got pushed up over obese, because I didn't have the energy to care. There was too much else. It was just getting through the day at that point. So that was a tough time. What is the craziest thing you have ever done? I think this surgery is the craziest thing I've ever done, because I really have never been a risk taker. I've always been the one that take the safe, predictable route and do the right thing. And not that this is the wrong thing at all, but it's not a typical thing. It's not necessarily the thing that most people would jump to. But it came to me, and I just went for it. And it was a risk that I took, and I don't regret for a minute. Let's see. What is your greatest regret? My greatest regret, I think, is losing me somewhere along the line. And I think this is true of most of us that are pretty devoted as mothers and wives, and we kind of lose ourselves in the process of all the stuff that goes around raising kids, and you lose yourself in there. And I never really had a strong sense of self to begin with, and I didn't fight for it more, and I regret that, because I think I missed out on a lot of fun I could have had with my kids. It's one of the feelings I have right now is I lose this weight, and I'm like, oh, I'm realizing how much I missed out on, especially with my kids. My 2 older ones especially, who are basically almost grown and out of the house. And, I'm thankful that I still have Bethany to kind of live vicariously through as a mom. And she still has, 10 more years of her life that she'll be, that I'll be a part of. So, but I vowed to keep tabs on me, and more so than I've ever done before. So that would be my greatest regret. Who has the greatest impact in your life? Definitely my husband has the greatest impact in my life. Has since we were in college. We've been married, almost 24 years. but we dated for like 4 years before that. So way more than half my life has been with him, and he has been the biggest part of my life, my best friend. We do everything, you know, everything he does affects me, and it can be bad too. Most of it's good, but you know, I'm sure I'm a bad influence on him too. But you know, we all have our moments when we, you know, aren't at our best. But he would be the greatest impact in my life, and has been a great supporter getting me through this surgery and losing my weight. He's now on MyFitnessPal and counting his calories, and has lost like 20 pounds himself. He only has probably another 20 pounds to go. He didn't have that much to begin with, but still, it's good that we're kind of doing it together now, and that feels good. So anyways, that's the tag. It's kind of interesting, tough questions, and I'm going to tag 4 people. I'm going to tag Bridget, BJW1965, and the Sleeve Singer. I want to hear how you guys will answer these questions. I also would like to tag SBB40 and From Hunger to Fullness. So they're all, you know, they're all channels that if you don't know them, you should check them out. I'll put them below too. You should check them out because they're all great people and a great addition to this community. And I would love to hear what they're grateful for and all the other questions. So thanks again, Kristen, for tagging me, and I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.